40 in the parking lot. So there's already people here. There's Brian. You have to go and pay for parking. But we made it. First row in the parking lot.
And it's pretty cool. It's just the two of us out here. I know. Happy birthday, honey.
Over here.
That's good.
With this view.
Yeah.
It's so quiet.
It is.
Happy birthday too.
The first lake on the Lake Agnes hike is the small mirror lake with the Big Beehive mountain behind it. We wanted to do the hike to the top of the Big Beehive, but we didn't want to fight through all the snow that was still there the first week of June. The hike up to the Mirror Lake was actually more challenging than I expected for two reasons. One, because of the 1,000-foot elevation gain, and because we started at 6 a.m. and I'm not a morning person. I think Mirror Lake is underrated. We were fortunate to be the only people enjoying the lake for much of the time we were there. A lot of people hiking up to Lake Agnes just keep going and barely stop to look at Mirror Lake.
So we made it, Lake Agnes. But it's not open yet. We got here early. It's like 7:30. They open at 8, but you could tell they're preparing because I could smell the food. Yay! And then there, look, it's ice.
Teahouse, Glacier, Lake Louise.
It's Fairmont.
Yep, your nails match Lake Louise.
I know.
The Lake Agnes Teahouse is typically open early June through the first week in October. We were there on June 7th, and it was their 4th day open of the summer. And it was actually the first day they opened at their normal 8 a.m. We got to the Teahouse well before they opened, so we were able to enjoy the lake and the viewpoint over Lake Louise. We were actually their first customer at 8 a.m. and within 15 minutes the Teahouse was full. By the time we left around 8:30 a.m.-ish, there was already a line to get into the Teahouse. If there's a line, I'd suggest getting a mountain bar or a handmade cake and a hot beverage to go and just enjoying the views next to the lake. You don't have to go into the Teahouse. On the cold morning we were there, we enjoyed actually sitting inside and enjoying the hot tea and cocoa, which were very refreshing, and we definitely recommend the mountain bar. They actually do a helicopter supply run at the beginning of the summer to bring up 10,000 pounds of supplies, and then 3 to 4 times a week staff hike garbage down and fresh supplies up on their backs. There's no electricity except for a few solar panels that power the lights. Everything's made by hand, and the tea, lemonade, etc. is all made from boiling the water from the lake. In 1973, a youngster named Cynthia McGee hiked up to Lake Agnes to work in the Teahouse. 7 years later, she actually bought the Teahouse from the Canadian Pacific Railway. As a single parent, Cynthia had to walk her daughter down to Lake Louise for her to get on the school bus and then walk back up, working all day. and then walk back down to pick her daughter up again. So if you start to see yourself complaining doing the Lake Agnes hike, and just remember Cynthia walking up and down the trail twice a day after and working all day. Cynthia's daughter Joanne has now run the Teahouse for 20 years with her husband and now 3 kids.
Good job, Ann. You attacked that snow with real vigor. Just missing carpet. Oh, and look, there's a hole in the ice right there. See that? This is what Anna thinks is snow. Just walk around it.
The plain of 6 Glacier tea houses is easy to recognize as adorned with Nepalese prayer flags, which were a gift from a Sherpa. This tea house sometimes doesn't open until July 1st due to potential avalanche risk on the hike. Fortunately, that was an issue when we were there. We were there on June 7th, and it was the second day that they were open on the summer. The hike takes about twice as long to get to as the Lake Agnes tea house, so it's not nearly as busy. If you don't want to do the hike, you can do a 4-hour horse ride through Brewster Adventures, which costs around $300 per person. The Plain of 6 Glaciers tea house, I didn't have any cell service at the tea house, but throughout the hikes during the day, my cell service were sporadically off and on. When I did have a clear view of the sky, I was able to do a satellite connection because unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes you just have to take a business call.
Favorite person in the whole world. Taking it down. A look at the view that he gets to hike down. That's pretty amazing, Lake Louise.
You can see the cloud shadow going over the lake. Anna's deciding what a expert hiker such as herself, what path they will take.
What gives Lake Louise its beautiful turquoise color is the glacier milk that comes from the glaciers. The glaciers scrape off tiny rock particles from the soft rock, and it flows like a glacier flower into the lake. And these particles suspend in the water, and then scatter the sunlight, giving the vibrant blue, green, turquoise color. So here you can kind of, in the video we're taking, you can see the glacier milk flowing from the glacier into the lake. And on the opposite side from the Fairmont Hotel was all this glacier sand that came from the rock through the glacier into the lake. Lake Louise is the most beautiful lake we have ever seen. We didn't stay at the Fairmont Lake Louise because we wanted to stay at a place with an outdoor pool and hot tub since it was the summer. Oh, and also the rooms were well over $1,000 a night. The Lake Louise Hotel is building a outdoor pool hot tub, but I have no idea when that will be finished. We did enjoy a tasty dinner after our long day of hiking overlooking the beautiful Lake Louise at the Fairmont, and the food was quite tasty and the staff was friendly, and it was actually a great experience to spend some time in the Fairmont Hotel.